Mushoku Tensei is a series which, at this point, doesn't need an introduction. With a completed 26-volume light novel series, and still releasing more lore in the redundant Reincarnation series, an ongoing manga series, and an ongoing anime series, there are plenty of ways to enjoy the universe. Speaking of the anime, Season 3 will be coming out later this year, and I'm pretty excited. Wait, it's Eris! She's back! Woo! Since completing the light novel series, one thing has stuck with me more than anything else, and that is just how interesting and complex the world of Mushoku Tensei is. The author of the series, who goes by Rifujin no Magonote, definitely worked overtime to create something so intricate yet understandable as a reader. So how did they do it? To answer that, you have to look into the writing. Mushoku Tensei follows Rudius, who was recently reincarnated into the world as a newborn. Being a newborn, he doesn't know the language or anything for that matter, which means we are pretty much the same as him, other than the fact that we're probably not babies. We learn about the world at the same pace as Rudius, which creates an immersive feeling as the reader. Now, that's not to say this isn't a common practice among novels, especially isekai, but Mushoku Tensei has just done it perfectly, basically spoon-feeding information and the perfect amount each time. The anime follows the light novel's example and creates a desire to learn more about the world. And speaking of the anime once again, the scenes where the landscapes of the world are shown are just peak cinema. So what's so special about this world? I would mainly say the sheer size and the thought put into it by the author. There may be plot holes here and there, mainly in the area of power scaling, but the world itself just makes sense. I genuinely have no clue how to describe it any other way. Following up on that, and speaking on the size of the world, I can make a 1 hour, 2 hour long video just explaining the lore of the world, but I'm not gonna do that. So here's just a very simple rundown. There are 7 worlds that are a part of this Mushoku Tensei universe. 6 of them actually have citizens, while 1 is the void space where the man god, who is the main villain of the story, stays. The main story takes place in the human world, where there are 5 continents. Each continent has its own culture, races, and language, and each of the continents is home to many countries who are in a constant struggle for land and, you know, just typical politics stuff. The series goes into a deep dive on the inner workings of a few of these kingdoms, such as the Ashura and Chiron kingdom. Now, I would like to discuss a character who has lived in the universe for a long time. You know him? You love him? It's gotta be Orsted. Orsted is an interesting overall character. Not just because of his story, but because of his role in the overall structure of the story itself. I feel that his purpose in the story is to be a plot device. Now I understand that that sounds like a negative term. However, I do not mean it that way. I just mean that he has a specific purpose for the reader. That purpose is to show how Rudius's existence has affected the world around him. Orsted has lived through the original timeline hundreds of times, to the point where he's mentally over 20,000 years old. So he knows it like the back of his hand. He knows everything that's gonna happen, he knows everything that has happened, and Rudius's existence pretty much just put a stick in that. Since Orsted knows that Rudius's existence has changed a lot, he's even keeping tabs on it to ensure that if there is another timeline where Rudius exists, he will know how to deal with it. Not only does this fact show us just how impactful Rudius's existence is, but it also gives information on the world without Rudius. I know that Rudius and Orsted are both main characters of the series, but Magonote masterfully utilizes them to create an immersive world that is not only intricate, but easy to follow. In the end, all I've got to say is Mushoku Tensei is a great series.